Hey, this is Ariel Posen. We're here in Chicago with Reverb, and we're messing around with Leslie's. If you asked me to tell you like how it works, I probably wouldn't explain it well, but yeah, I'd say traditionally the Leslie has two speeds, slow and fast. Because of the spinning and at a really slow speed, you're hearing movement in your sound. Therefore, instead of your signal feeling like it's straight, you're hearing just a touch of some kind of like hidden warble, you know? Then you can start to hear it kind of come alive. And that's the sound we all know. Well, the first time I heard one was Tomorrow Never Knows by the Beatles on the Revolver record, which was the record just after Rubber Soul, which is really when they started experimenting and like pushing boundaries of what could be done musically in terms of production, parts, and just soundscapes. And on that song, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but the biggest one is that they fed John Lennon's vocal through a Leslie speaker. I was a kid when I first heard it and was like, read about it or whatever, and I didn't even know what that meant. I didn't know what a Leslie speaker was, but he said he wanted to sound, I might be quoting this a little incorrectly, but he wanted to sound like the Dalai Lama on the top of a mountain or a hill, like yelling or screaming, or singing rather, and that was kind of the sound they were going for. So they used something like this to run his vocal through it. That was the first time I heard it. Obviously, it's not typically used on vocals. We hear it on organ. It's on like, anytime you hear organ, this is what this is used for. But the first time I heard it on guitar was Stevie Ray Vaughan, famously. You know, songs like Cold Shot and I think Riviera Paradise. There's a bunch of songs that he has where he became synonymous with that sound. It's like the guitar player's way of giving you that kind of natural modulation that we so badly want, like what an organ has. It's like the closest we get to it. Definitely don't want to say that sounds like him, but that's kind of the way that we're used to hearing him use it in that way. That's like my Stevie Ray Vaughan on wish.com. So funny enough, my first time was really lackluster. It was either someone brought it to some kind of a gig or it was at a studio and none of us knew how to use it properly. So we're all like, okay. And it kind of sounded bad. It sounded messy. And I think we were maybe we were hitting it too hard with input gain or something like that. I had this grand idea of like hearing Stevie Ray Vaughan and all these other greats use it, and it's like, it sounds nothing like that. It sounds horrible. Then later on, once, I realized how you're supposed to use it, and I've never owned one. It's always been someone else's or at a studio or a gig. Once we figured out how to use it properly, then it became this pretty magical thing. And I don't think I've ever played a show with one. It's always been in the studio. So rather than using like an emulator, which I use all the time. I use the Leslie sound a lot. For me, I use the Eventide H9. There are a bunch of good ones. There's the Vent, a handful of others. Strymon makes a great one, the Lex, and there's more. And they're all great. This is just the one that kind of works for me. But when I'm making a record, hey, if we have a real one, we're gonna use that. And I've experimented guitar, I've experimented running my vocals through it, John Lennon style. I've experimented running other things through it. It has such a vibe and a thing to it that is unmistakable, and you really can't get it in any other kind of form, especially from a pedal. Like somehow the noise, how it reacts, it's just like a special, really special thing. For me, the trick is like to be sparing with it, like to not overexpose it, because if I use it all the time, it's not gonna be really special. So I actually like using it on really simple kind of melodic parts. Like, let's say if it was end of a chorus and we're just hitting this last bit. Something like, just like maybe an arpeggio or a single note kind of cleaner thing, because once you really dirty it up, it becomes like a growl, and I associate it as something as more of a solo kind of sound, as opposed to like a part maker. So I like to use it on the cleaner side, on a record, for parts. I have a song called So Easy, and a perfect example of it was that I did, after the chorus, it would go to this main rhythm part. And over that, there would be a clean guitar line going. But I doubled it, you know, with a different guitar, with a different pickup. And the two of them together give you like this unsettling but interesting kind of sound, because you have the headroom from the clean, non-Leslie part, and then you have all like the tension from the one with it. And it's like these more simple parts I really like. I feel like it shines the most when you leave space for it to do its thing. If you do too much, then you don't really get the character of it. I think the trick for recording is how you blend it in. And especially in the room, it's like I'm hearing sound from an amp and I'm hearing sound from the Leslie itself. The cabinet, it's like having a pedal that has a speaker attached to it as well, but the speaker's going like this the whole time. Because you could use it just on its own. The cabinet here as an effect, yes. But if you use the amp and then blend it over as if you're using a plug-in or something, it can really do some, like we're getting pretty granular, but sonically it does some pretty nice things, yeah. For the last almost a year, people have been seeing it, and I've been saying it's just a custom shop, which is true, but I wasn't fully giving the full information. This is actually a prototype of my signature, like Ariel Posen Fender Strat, which is super exciting. It's very me. It's got a P90 in the bridge. It's got a Jazzmaster in the neck, which is wound after my Jazzmaster neck pickup. I believe it's a 69 style neck. It's off this custom shop I've had for 15 years, which then I had them transfer that neck style to my Jazzmaster, and then that Jazzmaster, same one as this. So it's like a Strat inspired also by elements of the Jazzmaster, but staying true to the Strat. I've just never really been a 3 single coil guy. I love it. It's like an important sound in music and guitar, but as Ariel Posen, the guitar player and the artist, I'm really like a 2 pickup Strat on a Strat kind of guy, with just a bit more beef, not full-on humbuckers, still single coil, both of these pickups, but just a bit more output. There's a lot of details, but it's a Strat. It's my Strat. So I know that I was saying that I typically use it on simpler, cleaner parts, subtly, but there's a lot of other cool things you could do. You can get a lot more interesting textures and just thinking outside the box. So like you could take something else where like the sine is moving. Like for example, you could turn a tremolo pedal on, which on its own sounds like this. And then bring in the Leslie and have both of them going. Get really kind of It's weird with it. You could go over the top. You could kick on like some fuzz or something like that. Really indescribable unless you get to like be in the room here and hear it yourself, but it's like it's a pretty special sound. Therefore it informs like what you play and how you play. Everything can inspire a way of playing, and if there's just more it becomes, I find the more you step on it, in a way it becomes like a softer attack, everything. Therefore you can dig in a bit more. You know, when you feel like, oh, it's really pokey, my sound, or like harsh, you tend to play a bit softer. But when you step on like something like a fuzz and you got the Leslie going, it feels like it's almost dampened in a way, so that you could really like. As opposed to. So it's amazing. It's a subtle difference, but pretty massive difference at the same time, you know? Another thing that I haven't said yet is like I've had a slap delay on this whole time. So without it, really dry sounding. I love slap because it kind of makes it feel like more of a room sound. So here's the Leslie. And now I'm gonna turn on the H9 Leslie. Okay, so now we'll take the slow real Leslie and we'll put the fast fake Leslie on there. So without it. All right, we've now added a space echo to the mix, so let's hear how that sounds. I need a space echo. It does there's like a little bit of compression or saturation that happens that just, it's not how it sounds, but when you play it, it's like how it feels. I'm starting a new duo project. Here we go.